Don't start small. That is not the advice. I might be in a very small percentage of people who are blessed to give advice and mentorship and guidance to startup chiropractors, whether you're graduating right from chiropractic school, and you just know that God called you to own and run your own practice, and you want to take that risk and you want to take that future, or whether you're in a rockstar associate position right now and you want to go on and you want to take that thing and you want to go own your own practice. Don't start small is 180 full on opposite from what I see from 80 to 90% of other people in similar shoes that I have right now within this profession, giving advice to others. Most are told, hey, remember, you're so in debt from school. Oh my gosh, what a ripoff. You borrowed $200,000, $250,000, $300,000. You're so in debt already. Hide in the corner of a birth center with your portable table. Don't buy nice tables. Don't buy an Insight. Don't sign a lease in anything greater than 84 square feet, just big enough for your portable table and a tiny little succulent plant from Hobby Lobby that you got with a 50% coupon. Start small, pinch your pennies, but then one day it'll come. What day? Because our mentality determines our strategy, and our strategy determines our action and our outputs, and our actions and our outputs determine our outcomes and our results. And so if your mentality, if your initial starting mindset is, I better play it safe. I better take it easy. I better hide out and hope that this works. And then, man, do you know how many chiropractors are still stuck in purgatory, are still stuck in the if, then, when, and mentality of, one day I'll sign that lease. One day I'll get into that practice. One day I'll get a nicer table. One day I'll go to a better part of town. One day I'll be on my own instead of renting this room in a closet in a birth center or massage there. Now, right now, I might be ticking some of you off because you're like, yeah, but for me, I really don't like debt. For me, I've got my beautiful babies. I want to start my family. Trust me, our daughter was born 2 weeks before I graduated from, and I always say we, even though Christina didn't graduate with me. Yes, she did. She and I have done this lock-in step. So I get that there's differences for sure between the husband role and the mom role and the dad role. But let's not let that hold us back collectively for a second and just call ourselves two things. One, chiropractors. Two, parents. I get it, every bit of it. And I understand that starting small, taking it easy, saving money, having less hours, less responsibility, less overhead, and everything is good for you. I get that. And I understand that for so many, you're going to read and you're going to, interpret the situation in that way. The situation that I see with my eyes, my heart, my head all day, every day is the situation of the perfect storm running rampant through all of our communities and seeing the amount of absolute terrible health that subluxation has done and wreaked havoc in our communities, that starting small and incrementally going forward towards that is just not enough, and it never was for me. So our mindset and our perspective sets up our strategy, which sets up our action, which sets up our results, right? And I can't even tell you how many chiropractors I know who were told to start small and still are, who were told to play it safe and still are, who were told to take it easy and are about to take off and do something else because they never made it. Now, I will tell you, this profession requires boldness. This profession is different. You can't half-ass your certainty. You can't half-ass your clinical skill set. You can't half-ass your branding and your marketing and your business building. I don't think any other profession is really any different, but I just know this one best. And I know that there is a great divide between take it easy, start small, all about profitability chiropractors, and then those that are absolutely crushing it and making an enormous impact in their communities. And if you rewind the clock and you look at the differences between those two chiropractors, starting small and having a lesser impact by a significant amount in their community versus this. And you may think I'm talking about volume of like, how many do you see and how much do you make? It's a video for me, y'all. I'm talking about volume of impact. Okay. And so over here, that's probably the advice and the strategy and the Dave Ramsey-esque mentorship they got. And so that mentality now permeates their nervous system. And once you start small, you stay small. Same over here. This is the one to get excited about. Don't even think for a second that it was easy. I'm not pretending even a little bit that after you graduate with $200,000 or more debt, it's going to be real easy on your emotions to roll into a bank and borrow another hundo. Or borrow $525,000 like Christina and I did, because we bought a $401,000, 1,900 square foot, brand new, beautiful, badass, professional building, and then borrowed $125,000 on top of the $200,000 of school debt. So yep, add that math up, $725,000 invested. Write those in your notes. You can look at these moves as investments or going in debt. You can look at them as investments or risk. I can't even, there was another word in my head. I don't remember that word. I was going to contrast it with a word that many of you might find familiar that gives you fear. Not for us. Because the fear I have is, man, with my time here that God has called me to do, did I go after saving as many kids and families with chiropractic as possible? And I know the strategy differences between starting small and going after it and taking that big leap of faith. Trust me, that was a bold, scary move. So let me give you the strategies on how to do this after you decide not to pinch pennies and after you decide to go to the bank, go to the uncle, go to a credit union, go to Chiro Funding, go get a loan and get a nice building. You don't have to buy it. Just get a bigger space. Don't rent a tiny little space. Go after it, and then they will come after it for you. It matters significantly the level of professionalism you bring to a pediatric practice. So as I get towards the end of this video, that's really where we must split these hairs. If you're going to just do a little sports chiro, a little back pain, I'm going to flying 7, I'm going to adjust your ankles, I'm going to tape your ankles. You go to the corner of a gym, save some money, do whatever. If you want to be a, less impactful version of what we can do in this profession, then there's a different strategy that can maybe have some money saving and room renting and mobile chiro with your portable table set up in the living room. If you want to be that level of impact, okay, there's your business strategy. But if you want to make the impact that moms and dads in your community are demanding right now, which is save my baby from this storm, because they went into this big business medicine and they got burnt big time. And so what they're looking for is something else to put their trust in. And that trust has more to do with your personality. That trust has to do with the level of professionalism you bring to the table as a doctor. And so the reason our 4 steps for slaying it as a starter, the first 2 are just mental mindset, strategy. Don't pinch pennies, go to the bank, get after it. Actually, the first 3, don't hide in the back corner of a birth center. And then the other one is don't go it alone. Make sure that your physical space, make sure that your professional space, make sure that your equipment, make sure that your training, actually I'm going in the wrong order. Make sure your training is legit and ready to go for this. Make sure you are invested and you have the level of training to deliver the goods, and then back it up with your space, with your equipment, with the way you're going after it. And at the same time, don't go it alone. Start with a CA. Start with a full practice from the jump. And I'm telling you, the jump you have into practice will be 10 times bigger, 10 times faster than those that start small. For every single chiropractor I know who started small, there's 99 out of 100 of them who still are. For every single chiropractor who I know started big and failed, didn't pay those loans back, didn't pay the bank back, I know 99 who did. Actually, I say that out loud. It changed that equation. I don't know of a chiropractor who went all in, bank loan, bigger space, brand new insight, brand new tables, started with a CA, hired a coach and a mentor, paid for that, started marketing, spending money on it right from the jump. I don't know a single one who failed. So to me, the staying small, those are the scary stories. These folks that got after it, that one singular mindset that creates this, I'm talking about different minutiae of this, but it's it's one move. It's a totality of one move. By making that move, you all but guarantee your success. See, I understand it's going to come with stress. I've lived it, been there, done that, and succeeded and become more resilient and more adaptable and more successful and more impactful through it. Because what that big, bold move will do is force you to be that good, force you to blow up that practice, force you to grow and get after it and get to where you need to be to match the commitment that you made. See, if you start small, the space you've got to grow forward from school on to succeed in a small commitment is small. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's a neurological reality. If you start small, you're going to stay small, you're going to coast, and you're going to get blown off the road a whole lot easier. But when you start big and you commit big, you got to back it up big. And it's the number one, I hope, I got to make this video like 100 times more to get better. Like everything else in life, you got to do it 1,000 times to get better at it, to get better at getting this message across to you. But I'm going to post it up just from my heart, from me. This has a lot of opinion. Not going to lie one bit. This has a lot of experience. Definitely have that in spades from starting small. And this has a lot of experience from coaching and mentoring and guiding others as well and seeing what the two different outcomes look like. And this has a lot of strategy and a lot of thinking to it as well. And I hope it had some real practicality and some implementation steps to you, because you're not going to get this kind of advice from 9 out of 10 other chiropractors who are in my shoes, being able to have maybe earned your ear to give you advice and do this. Don't start small. The thing you have is the greatest product that healthcare has ever seen. The time right now that you are starting practice is the greatest opportunity ever, because the need through the perfect storm is the biggest it's ever been. And the demand of the desire and of parents to have this product as they ditch medicine and they go after all things in this space. And you can reach them Instagram, Facebook, online. I could do another 10 minutes just about how real, awesome the reality of our opportunity is right now. Don't start small, go big, get after it from the jump. And the biggest problem you will have is not paying back those loans. It's keeping up with the growth that comes from this mindset that then builds the strategy that then determines your actions that then sets up your results. That's how this works. The decision is up to you. Start small, go big. Small, stay small, small impact. Big start, big impact, big growth, big future.